Welcome back, everybody. College football. I don't know how long we've been streaming for because my computer. Okay, now we're officially streamed. We're officially back. We're on there. Welcome back, everybody. TV Sports 27 and college football is back on the channel. It's, God, when was the last time we streamed college football? It's been almost a year, but we're getting back into it, and it is going to be our 20th season. Can you believe it? Now, it's only going to be our second season here on TV Sports 27, thanks to the great YouTube purge. And a lot of that is lost to history. But for those of you that want to keep up with the history of our college football careers, we have just uploaded the entire Utah stat book, all 19 seasons, and including when we were part of Wyoming to kick off our career, and Florida State. You can kind of see what we've done the last couple of seasons. Look at this run that we have been on. But we are getting ready for our 20th season, the 2032 season. Some of you have been following us back on our previous YouTube channel. Now you're here, and we got all the history. Some seasons more in-depth than others, but if you want scores, if you want stats, national championships, conference winners, all of that for the past 19 seasons is up right now at patreon.com/tvsports27. It's a little bonus for our patrons. If you're already a patron, well, you got the stat book just now for free. If you're not a patron, $5 gets you in the door, gets you all the bonus content. We got an extra hour of God of War on there. We got bonus Hell in a Cell matches from WWE 2K22. We have our first bonus game of the RXFL, a big-time game between Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers, the Firebird versus Vegas. That's up right now on Patreon as well, so you can see what we've done with Utah. You know, it was an uphill climb. We got lucky there the national championship year, but a Las Vegas Bowl, an Alamo Bowl, a couple conference championships, the Vegas Bowl. But from 2022 on, it's really picked up. In fact, from 2022 on, so what is that, the last decade, we have not gone to anything less than a New Year's Six Bowl. From Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, national championship, all up and down the line. It has been one incredible run for our Utah Utes. And as I said, we're getting into season 20, so pretty soon our coach, our guy, he's going to want to get into retirement soon. He's getting old. So, you know, we got the new game coming out soon, the college football game. Everyone's got cautious optimism of what it's going to be. It's these 17 years at Utah. So if we get 4 more wins, that'll be 200 career wins at Utah as a head coach. So that'll be big business. They signed us for another 6 years. We'll see if we can make it, but we're going to kick it off right here. So we did the offseason off camera because I don't really have a whole lot to jump in and talk about as far as it goes for off-season stuff. It's kind of boring, you know, doing all the recruiting stuff. So you can kind of see the group we got here. We got Matt Canada. He's kind of popular. Where is he these days in real life? I have to look him up. But we lost our defensive coordinator to BYU. So that's going to be interesting because, of course, we got BYU on the schedule. A couple of Big Ten teams. He is the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. So interestingly enough, he's the OC for the Steelers here. He's going to be our new defensive coordinator. So yes, so we lost our defensive coordinator. He went to BYU. And the last time we lost one of our top coordinators, it was a couple seasons ago. We lost our offensive coordinator to Bowling Green. Bowling Green ended up beating us that same season. The student beat the teacher. We'll see if that happens here again this season. So, I'm completely looking at the wrong thing. I'm thinking head coach, offense, defense. So Matt Canada is not new to our team. It's Adam Johnson that is actually new. I thought offense came before defense on the list. I wasn't even paying attention. So my mistake on that. Of course, Matt Canada, offensive coordinator. Adam Johnson, the new defensive coordinator, replacing our previous defensive coordinator who went off to BYU. And that's, like we said, we'll play them later on this season. And that should be a pretty interesting game, right? You would think if lightning can strike once again, if our coordinator can come back and beat us. It was a 5-year contract for Pat Fitzgerald, who went to take that deal at BYU. So, all right, waiting for a few folks to come back in. About 5 minutes in, when most of our regulars aren't here yet. Maybe not big college football fans, but we'll see. They'll come pouring in. We're gonna keep up with some of the scores. Miami in real life right now in a huge fight with Southern Miss. Southern Miss got the lead going into halftime in that one. So let's take a look at our schedule. You guys can kind of see. As you know, we kind of try to do the real life thing here, where we keep we do home and homes, or we do 2 homes and 1 away. We try to do it like real life. So we're finishing up, and actually a lot of our home and homes are going to finish up here, as we're going to complete the Arkansas and the Utah State. We had signed Utah State to a 4-game home and home. That's going to wrap up. And the Arkansas home and home is going to wrap up. And the South Alabama series is going to get one step closer. I believe that was a 3-game set that we signed with them. So here's the game where they're going to come here, and then we will head to South Alabama. We'll go to Mobile next season, so that'll be interesting. So you see off the bat, we got Utah State on the road to kick off this season. Our, I think, 22-game winning streak on the line. Went 15-0 last season, and the season before that we finished on quite a winning streak. Our last loss was to Nebraska a season ago. So we got Utah State on the road. We got South Alabama here at home. Then we got TCU and Air Force. So TCU and Air Force both put up fights with us last season. We go to North Texas, who is a Big 12 team. That'll be our first ever battle with North Texas. Then the big one, we got quite the stretch here at BYU against our former defensive coordinator, Pat Fitzgerald. Then we come home to Nebraska, which has been a fight the last couple of seasons. The last loss we had was to Nebraska a season ago. Then we go to Arkansas, so a long travel to complete that home and home with the SEC Arkansas Razorbacks. Then we kind of relax a little bit, as we got Mizzou, Kansas State, Kansas aren't really powerhouses in this game. And then we get the rivalry game at the end of the season. So coming into this one, ranked number 1, we'll take a quick look at the rankings, the Heisman Watch, and we'll look at our roster as well before we jump into week 1. And you see where we are. Iowa, who just missed out on the college football playoff last season, coming in at 2. Texas at number 3. We had quite the battle with them last season. And Ohio State at 4. We're going to do the 4-team playoff again, thanks to the good guys at the college football revamp with their cool college football playoff hack that we can do. You got Notre Dame, you got Minnesota, a lot of the teams that we saw in the New Year's 6 coming in ranked in the top 10. And you see Georgia, Navy, and let's see, who is our highest rank of the group of 4 that we have in here, or group of 4 or group of 5, because we kind of promoted the AAC. We kind of call them the Big East, but we kind of promoted them back up as a top level conference. So it's kind of the group of 4 is now what it's pleasantly referred to. And your highest ranked group of 4, let's see, it's going to be SMU, who had the Cotton Bowl game with Notre Dame. We've yet to see one of the group of 4 teams make it and beat one of their opponents in the New Year's 6 game, but you can see all that history again on Patreon right now. And in fact, I'm going to go on to Patreon before we jump into this, and I'm going to look at the history, because I want to see the score of the last time we played South Alabama, because I know this is not the first time, because it was a 3-game set. So I am looking right now on Patreon, and I want to say it was back in season 17. So I'm scrolling right now to the season 17 schedule here, and I do not see South Alabama. So maybe this is the beginning of the series, or maybe it was last season, season 18. Yes, it was last season. We played South Alabama. We started the season. We went to Utah State as well last season. So I guess we had 2 road games left with Utah State, or I don't know, that I never delete. I don't know. I guess we had 2 road games left with Utah State. So there you have it. So Utah State, and then we beat South Alabama. That was in season 18. So that was 2 years ago. So last year was 19, 18 was 2 years ago. So there you have it. And then we played Utah State at home. Okay, so that makes sense. That was 2 years ago. So that was South Alabama. We got the win 49-13 in season 18. Now we're playing South Alabama again. And the next season we will go to Mobile to complete the 3-game set. So again, right there on Patreon. If you're already a patron, it's up there for free. You got it for free. TV Sports 27. If you're not a patron, check that link in the comments down below. $5 gets you in the door. You can see the stat book. You can see, like I said, the score. South Alabama, 49-13 last time we played them. Then the following week, we would lose 40-8 to Texas, a beatdown. And, of course, we'd have another loss to Nebraska, 42-29. But then we would win 6 in a row after that, win 15 in a row last season. And we're on quite the winning streak. So Bill Bradford at the top of the list as a Heisman candidate, a junior. He rushed for 1,400 yards last season. Those stats are up in the stat book right now on Patreon. 19 years worth of history up there right now. So you saw the schedule. Let's take a quick look at the roster and the depth chart before we jump into this season. And if you guys are interested, we might do a little doubleheader. We'll see how this game goes, but planning on maybe playing 2 college football games, doing a 2-parter. So we got Andrew Cross, of course, coming back. He struggled his freshman year. What a sophomore season he had. 15-0, winning the national championship. Of course, Zach Hall in relief and Joe Mason, the usual suspects. So you bring back now, you got Price and Bradford. Price is higher than Bradford, and we kind of saw that last season, but Bill Bradford, the better running back last season. So we're going to go ahead and make that change right there. So you got Bradford coming back. You got Andrew Cross as well. And I think a decent amount of our receiving core is back. And there you see Jerome Perry, Jermaine Cox. Now they're seniors. And then you got Jason Newton, who's moving up in the lineup, Tommy Singleton. So a couple of new guys, but you still got Perry and Cox, who are going to be the heart and soul of this team. Tight end-wise, Brian Baldwin, he's moving up in the lineup. On the defense, you got Eric Lambert. He's coming in at 75. So we'll see. Is it going to be a big hit? Our defensive coordinator leaving. What's going to happen there? Lee Anderson. And I'm going to get some stats too. Again, patreon.com/tvsports27. I'm going to throw some stats at you while we're looking at this. So Cox and Perry moving up as Zach Smith and Nick Odom would go on to the next level into the NFL. So we're looking at defensive tackles here. Bryant Harper and Andrew Fowler, a couple of big guys on defense. So Harper, 14 sacks last season. Fowler, 15 sacks, an INT, and a couple of forced fumbles. James Kelly, I believe he's gone on to the next level. He had the monster 24 sack season last season there. Here we go. We got Jamie Brooks coming in here. A 94 senior. Man, what a big boy that is there. 244 Brandon Charles, a junior at middle linebacker. So a couple of 80s, couple of 70s. Not going to say the strongest lineup in the world on defense, but we're going to see if we keep trucking along. Jason Lyles back for another year. Last season, 7 interceptions and a touchdown. He comes in at a 91. He's going to be the guy to watch. Jason Lyles. Ben Jackson, he is off to the NFL. 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 3 touchdowns last season. Sam Harris moving up in the lineup. He's a sophomore, so the young man getting opportunity. And Try Bonner also moving up, a 96. I don't have any numbers for him, so an opportunity for him to step up. We still got Richardson, Travis Richardson, 15 of 19 last season, kicking-wise. So let's jump into it. While we are going to wait for this game to load, let's look at some scores right now in college football. I was watching a little bit of the Alabama game. Now it's tied, Alabama and Texas, and the Texas quarterback was knocked out of the game. I think he might still be out of the game on my last check. So starting off on the road, wrapping up this, we brought back kind of the rivalry series with Utah State, and we've kind of dominated. It's been one-sided since we've brought this rivalry game back. We'll go all white on the road. You know what? We're starting off on the road. We'll go all white. As for Utah State, let's see what different. They got different options. Let's shuffle through them all here. So sometimes I like to just do a random pick here, and they're going to go with white as well. So white helmet. Now I think last season I typically like. Well, I guess they can switch year to year. Trying to go through the different unis. I try to match of what we put them in last season. I don't like the plain. That's such a thing that's coming back this season in college football, the plain uniforms. I don't really like them. Is that what we want last year? I like the little design, you know? I like having a design on the unis, so those are kind of cool. Those are a little ugly. So you know what? We're going to go with it. And if that's not what they wore last season, it's what they wore now. So there you go. And we can do a random pick here for the pants, because the pants don't really. I'm kind of curious to see what or I guess we didn't have that game on tape last season, because that was right when our YouTube page went kaput. So, there you go. We'll go with that. I like it. So, Utah State. And we are kicking off the college football season here. So, looking at the scores right now, this is real-life scores. Miami, 10. Southern Miss, 7. Ohio State, 24. Arkansas State, 9. Texas, Alabama, 10-10 at the half. So, some interesting games. And Utah just kicked off in real life against Southern Utah. So, checking in on the chat. Boy, you guys don't like college football. Keep that in mind. You guys are usually pouring in by now, but it's all right. Utah State kicking it off here. We'll go on Twitter, do a quick Twitter check. Or looking, maybe you guys want to see some of the top players. Mayhew, Green, Armstrong, and of course, Cross, Bonner, Harper, and Bill Bradford. Here we go, kicking off the college football season. Season 20, 1 year with Wyoming, 1 year as defensive coordinator of Florida State, 17 years here with the Utah Utes. And we were close a couple years ago. We were close to wanting to change it up. We almost took the job at LSU. We were very, very, very close to taking the LSU job. The reason we didn't is LSU was 1-11, and I just couldn't justify leaving a powerhouse national championship winning team to go to a 1-11 team. So that was the thing that kept me at Utah, and we've continued to win ever since. As 3 national championships here for the Utah Utes. And all of that history is up on Patreon. Winning it last season, the college football playoff, winning our first college football playoff last season. And we have most of the history. I wasn't writing down everything, but we have most of the history of the national championship, which we won in season 4, defeating UCF to win our first national title. Then we win in season 12 to knock off Army. Actually, we have 4 national titles to our name. Season 14, we beat Texas, and then last season, our 4th national championship, once again beating Texas. So, boy, a lot more than our last YouTube channel. We have the Troy Trojans, which a lot of that content is going to be going up soon on Patreon as well. A lot more college football stuff coming up on Patreon for our patrons. And our Troy dynasty, we finished with 2 national championships. We went the first year, if you guys remember, and we lost to Air Force. And let's see here. This is going to be a hot start as Newton gets up to the 40-yard line. But we, our opening season, we went to the, not opening season, but pretty early on, we went to the national championship, lost to Air Force. We have followed that up by getting a victory against TCU, and then our last season, we defeated Air Force and won 2 national titles. And then here, our new coach, and we've got 4, and starting off the Heisman candidacy season, Bill Bradford. We've had a couple of Heisman winners. We can look at the history of the trophy case. But Bill Bradford trying to be the next Heisman Trophy winner here in Utah. Now, I apologize. The screen has locked up. This happens a lot. I don't know why. And there it jumps out. It's I'm using OBS, so it's an issue with OBS, I believe, that kind of does this glitchiness. But you'll just have to bear with me if it continues to do. Some of the scores. Alabama and Texas playing in real life and in virtual land. See the score at the bottom of your screen. We also encourage you guys follow along with us on Twitter, TV Sports 27, because we had tweeted hours before going live. What happened? No, my controller. What? No, is it out of battery? This is a rough start here. Let's see, battery level. No, battery level's good. I think it's an old Xbox controller. Hey, look at that. It's an old Xbox controller, so the battery pack is kind of a little shaky at times. But Andrew Cross starting things off. And this is a hot start for the defending national champions. Wrapping up this 4-game set with Utah State. And right up the middle. This is too easy. Touchdown, Utah. I'll try not to run up the score on them too much, but right now, this is kind of rough for the Utah State. Beautiful for us. He said, we'll have to look. Remind me in the chat if you guys want to see the Heisman Trophy case. I know we've had a couple of Heisman Trophy winners. Of course, the most famous one, Brandon Cox, our second year. Won the Heisman. We won the national championship really early on. And then, of course, the questions about our coaching, because we went a while without winning another national championship. We had a bunch of Las Vegas Bowls, as you guys saw just before this stream started. So, stuff that we had early on with the national title. And then Brandon Cox, of course, would go on to win a Super Bowl with our Detroit Lions in Madden 12. And Lane Kiffin, look at how the mighty have fallen. Kiffin coaching his first game at Utah State. I'm not sure where he was. I don't think you could look at the coaching history of the different coaches in this game. I know you can for your own, but Lane Kiffin. So Kiffin seeing not a good opening start for his Aggies here against our Utes. We'll see how Utah State responds. Huggins, quick pass out to Thompson, or A.J. Thomas, rather. He's a freshman wide receiver, and welcome to college football. Caleb Huggins, your starting quarterback, number 4 for Utah State. Good to stay, on the road to kick off the season, but good to stay in state. Going up against a Mountain West foe. And we got some East Coast games instead. South Alabama coming up. Arkansas coming up. Just because we felt like we exhausted all the West Coast teams. So we kind of had to go out east. But now that we're in the Big 12, maybe we can sprinkle. We can kind of start scheduling the Pac-12 again. Because when we were in the Big 12, or the Pac-12, now the Pac-16, it kind of limited. And how about that 3 and out for our Utes? When we were in the Pac-16, it kind of limited. We could only really schedule if we wanted to stay geographically close, a bunch of Mountain West teams. Now that we're in the Big 12, it can open us up to want to schedule some of those Pac-16 teams if we want to stay kind of in our part of the country. We also have the option to schedule some of the Big 10 guys as well. So opening drive touchdown for the Utes, and the Aggies go 3 and out. So that's kind of how this one is starting right now. Next possession of the game, and Andrew Cross is going to take a shot. He's got one-on-one coverage, and it's going to be intercepted. He went one-on-one, took a shot, and we saw, well, he got the star. It's Mayhew, and we saw him before the game. Kevin Mayhew intercepts Jerome Perry. It was one-on-one coverage, and he takes it away from Perry. So a bit of momentum for the Utah Utes getting that interception. So Andrew Cross starting off the season. That was his problem his freshman year, was the amount of turnovers he had. Coming up here, starting off this season with the turnover. Huggins is going to go down injured on his first scramble of the game. So immediately we're going to the backup for Utah State. Look at that, Colorado losing in week 1 to Colorado State. So big win for the Mountain West. Colorado State winning the Mountain West last season, and that one swatted away. Luke Hill, your quarterback. We got to keep an eye on that Texas-Alabama game. That could have college football playoff implications if Alabama knocks off Texas. And we don't have Texas on the schedule this season, so that could really be a big shift in the college football playoff landscape. Luke Hill, though, getting the first down here for the Aggies, Utah State. Lined up under center. Hill, the handoff to Armstrong. And he's hammered down at the line. They're going to give him 2, though. Florida International as well. They're part of the ACC these days. A couple of successful seasons. And you can see what they've done in some of the New Year's 6 games over at Patreon. It's up right now. If you're already a patron, if you're already signed up, we thank you so much for your support. That is up right now for free for all of you guys. The 19-year history, the Utah stat book is up there right now. Third down and 8 for the Aggies. Hill, they're going to go screen pass. Tried to go in. That was a bold move on our part. We tried to go in and get the sack, and it didn't work out, as you saw. We should have peeled off and gone for the running back, but we didn't, and it burned us. And now the Aggies with the backup in. It's tearing it up. Screen pass out to Armstrong. Are they going to get up to midfield here?
Armstrong was the intended receiver on the play. That'll make it 2nd and 7.
2nd down and 7 for the Aggies. Hill. 1st down Aggies. Wow. Hill's coming in. And he's kind of changed this game right now. That's unbelievable. Hill's going to drop back. And Fowler, no, they are. It's a fumble. And there's a momentum swing back our way. So we slow down Utah State. That's big business right there. You can hear the band playing. That's college football for you. So that was a big-time fumble. So good to see. Our guys are back in the mix. Our defense still playing strong. Bradford up the gut.
Gain of 8 on the play. That makes it 2nd and 2.
Second down and 2. There's the give to Bradford. Oh, they're just going to hold him short of the 1st down mark. Forget about it. We got to give it to the Heisman candidate one more time, right? KJ, welcome, KJ. Glad to have you. I was getting nervous. No one was coming into the chat. I thought everyone hated college football. It was a quiet chat for about the first 28 minutes here of this stream. But glad to have our good friend KJ Washington here as we enter into our 20th season of college football here. 17 with the Utah Utes. Again to Bradford. Good blocking up the middle. Oh, is he hurt? No, it's Bradford. I couldn't tell if he was just slow to get up or if he was hurt or what. Now everyone's looking forward to the new college football game, but as I said, cautious optimism everyone is having for the game. Everyone doesn't want to get too excited yet. Cross, another interception by Andrew Cross. 2 INTs. And Cross just didn't see the defender, Kelly, coming in, stealing it away. And boy, oh boy, it's kind of starting to see some of the issues from season 1 creep up again here. Wow. It was a hot start to this game. But it's been a struggle offensively right now for the defending 15-0 national champions, #1. Utah State holding this one close. We got a score alert, and Texas getting closer, but Bama back up by 2 scores. As we said, the college football playoff landscape can dramatically change with the results of that game. There's the give to Armstrong. Oh my God, Armstrong got popped. Goodness gracious. Gotta shake that one off. So 3rd and 6. See if our defense can get a stop here. I should clarify on Patreon, we talked about, we uploaded the Utah stat book. We had previously had the Utah stat book up before, but we reposted the Utah stat book just now with the updated season 19 stats. So you'll want to look at the most updated. In fact, I might even go in and delete the old stat book just because this is going to be the most up-to-date one. But like I said, if you're already a patron, we thank you for your support, and that is up for you for free right now. Play action fake, and there is a quarterback sack. Luke Hill goes down. Hill's played well so far coming in. Cedric Chambers getting the sack on Hill. Yeah, speared him to the turf. Boy, the way this game started, I would have thought we'd be up by way more than 7 at this point in the game. Closing in on quarter #1, the conclusion of quarter 1, but we're not there yet. It has been rough. We're, you know, seeing the Andrew Cross kind of do his thing, his unpredictability, as he tends to have done, as we've seen with him. One of our higher ranked recruits at quarterback in history. And it's been an up and down career. Like I said, freshman year got benched a couple of times, did not play well. Sophomore season, national championship. And there's a stop for our Utah defense. So still playing strong, our defense, despite the fact that Fitzgerald took off for BYU. And that's going to be the end of quarter #1, folks. The Utah Utes leading the Utah State Aggies 7-0 here in the first quarter. Newton to field this one. See if we can get some good blocks. There we go. And Newton cuts up field. He's going to get up to the 35. Still early on in this one. Arkansas got the win down there. Wisconsin as well. Big win for Wisconsin. Cross giving it back to Bradford. He stumbles. It's going to be a big gain of 0.
That makes it 2nd and 10.
It's Arkansas knocking off Georgia. Wow, we got Arkansas on the schedule too. The conclusion of the home and home, we go to Arkansas. Cross dancing around. Oh my God, he got hit as he threw it, and that was almost a 3rd interception for the Aggies. What's going on with Andrew Cross right now? It's a national championship hangover right now here at Utah State. Play fake. Cross. That one is delivered. Singleton. Oh my God, my controller. Sorry about that, guys. It's this Xbox controller, the battery pack. Like I said, it's an older controller, so it gets loose, and then it makes the controller turn off, and it makes the game turn off. And you can see it's the plays where we're pushing for extra yards where the controller tends to cut off. There's a drop play to Bradford. And Bradford's been slowed down quite a bit here by the Aggies. 52 yards, most of those were on that opening drive. It is not, what was the score last season? I'm going to plug it one more time. Going on Patreon, but I remember we blew them out last season. Boy, a well-covered cross, couldn't find anybody, and he eats a sack. This is rough. This is a rough start. Okay. We got to buckle down. Last season, we beat Utah State 34-7. The season before that, we beat them 35-14. And the season before that, 70-3 as part of the series. Patreon.com/TVSports27. All the scores up there right now. All right, 3rd and 14 here. Wide open to Baldwin. And that's what Utah needed. That's what #1 in the nation needed to kind of wake up here. Letting our rivals take it to us right now. Cross. On the money for Newton. He's out of bounds. Almost knocked out swoop right there. 51 yards for Newton now. Cross starting to kind of get in the zone a little bit here. Starting to relax, starting to settle down a little bit. Now we're starting to get the good part of Andrew Cross. And that one, tried to just sneak it in there. Pretty well covered again by the Utah State defense. Price. He doesn't get anything. So 3rd and 10 for the Utes. We're going to do a little screen pass here. We'll see if we can catch him sleeping. Because I don't really trust the passing game right now. Let's see. Drop back. We might have a shot. Oh, I thought we had a shot at it. The blocking fell apart. And the Utah State defense playing tough right now. So we're going to go for a 34-yard field goal. And this is, I mean, you've already seen one upset. You saw Arkansas get the win. I mean, people are going to be looking at the score of this one being like, what's happening to the defending champs? Luckily, our defense still as tough as ever here. See the Ute defense, 3 sacks, 63 yards so far in this game. We had a game 87-0 last year. Remember that against Houston. I'll buckle down a little more. I formation here, and it is going to be a run. Oh my God, this is killing me. I might have to buy a new controller. I can't believe this is doing this. There we go. And I want to do, we talked about doing Blitz the League as well for you guys too, as that content's going up on Patreon, but we're going to bring back the Blitz season. I got to do it on the 360 here. This controller's going to keep going out. I got to find a retro store or something. Get a new controller. Someone jumped. Let's see. Good Lord. I complain about this in every stream. My upstairs neighbors, they got a pet elephant up there or something, the way they're banging around. Unbearable. I would not live in an apartment if I didn't have to. But houses are very unaffordable right now, as you guys probably all know. Incomplete. So we still got Luke Hill in the game, and it's looking like he might go the rest of the way. He's done pretty solid in relief. Hill under pressure. That one was in the vicinity of an open receiver, but just didn't have enough gusto underneath it, and it fell incomplete. So, ooh, it's been a slow start, but we might have an opportunity to kind of push our way forward into this thing. What a block that was right there. Newton be at midfield. Up the gut to Bradford. There we go. There's the Bradford the first half we want to see again.
Gain of 7 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
That's one of our staples of our Utah Utes of the history here. We've always had a really good running game. There's Kevin Hayes. He's a former Heisman winner. One of our famous running backs. And Bill Bradford, as we said last season, you kind of saw the birth of it last season. Just started getting more reps, and this season a Heisman candidate. To Bradford once again, and trying to cut inside. He's got to get one hard-fought yard on that one. 12 rushes so far in this first half for Bill Bradford. Lined up in the gun, 2nd down and 9. Cross, quick pass, Singleton. I thought he was going to get beheaded, but he does not. So we'll take that all day, will we not? And come on. 6 of 10 for Andrew Cross in this one. Cross eats another sack. That's the 2nd time he's been brought down. Look at Alabama, man. That's a huge, I don't know, I don't want to call it an upset because, I mean, it's Alabama, right? Even though Alabama of real life is not the Alabama of virtual world. But for Texas to be blown out by that much, number 3, they were the national championship runner-up last season. Cross could not get rid of it. Hey, there's an animation you don't see in Madden. An incomplete pass when the arm's going forward. Which is not in the Madden that I play. All right. Well, 3rd and 19. I mean, it's been the week of upsets as you see the scores at the bottom of your screen. Cross pressure coming, gets rid of it to Jermaine Cox. And they're going to hold him short of a 1st down. So once again, we got to come on and kick a field goal. This is a worrisome a little bit. I mean, we're still winning, but think of how we dominated some of the teams last season. It's a slow start here. We got South Alabama on the schedule next. So that'll be an interesting test because that'll be at home. As we already read the score to you. Compliments of Patreon. You know, we roughed them up last season. But we've had those losses before, coming off the famous one. You guys remember from my old YouTube channel. Season 2. Or I guess it would have been Season 3. It was our 2nd year with Utah, but it was Season 3 overall. We won the national championship, undefeated Brandon Cox. The next year, we lost to Old Dominion, and that was our first loss that broke the winning streak. So we're no strangers. And like I said, you look at the history. We've had the rough outings before. We had the loss to Bowling Green as well. What was the year we finished the season? One of the worst starts of the season. We started like 1-3. And we had the loss to Bowling Green in there. We had the tight contest with Hawaii and Texas State. Those are all up in the Utah stat book on Patreon, but you know, we're no stranger to these tight contests, but number 1 coming out here. 13-0. Hanging on, and the backup quarterback at that, and Thomas drops it. That was a 1st down waiting to happen. As the Utah D roughs him up. Is that going to be a 1st down? Yes, it is. Tim Porter. 1st down for the Aggies. Hill. He's going to roll out. And he's going to get the 1st down on the scramble. What an effort from Luke Hill coming in off the bench. In the gun. Hill to Armstrong. They're getting close to scoring range.
That makes it 2nd and 8.
Hill dropping back, and he connects with Lane. Oh, they push him back. Let's see. They'll give him the forward progress, so. And Quinn Evers is going to be out the rest of the game for the Texas Longhorns. This is real life update for you guys. As we're playing college football, we're keeping you up to speed on college football. Doing both for y'all. All right, Hill has all kinds of time, and he connects with Shane Lane. And the Aggies on the move. They're going to go no huddle offense here. I don't like this. 51 seconds to play. Intercepted! Barrett with the INT. That was a big turnover. Woo! Jonathan Barrett, little breathing room there. Is Utah State pushing us to the brink right now? Wow, that was close. Okay, 44 seconds. I say we just regroup at the half. Try to get out of the shadow of our own end zone here. As long as the Aggies don't call timeouts, which they only got one anyway. We're going to just play old conservative here. Run it out. And call it a day. They want us to throw it. No chance. No chance, gamer gods. Look at Alabama. 49 points. A blowout on the road. And Bill Bradford, boy, he almost broke it there. A blowout on the road to number 3 Texas. Which is a huge upset for our world. We'll run it one final time just to see if Bradford can break anything. And that'll be the end of an interesting first half. An opening drive touchdown, no problem for the Utes. After that, it has been a mess offensively. Our defense keeping us in it. 13-0 right now. Utes over the Aggies. Sun is setting here in Utah. Good Lord, a decent return there by Coleman. As the Ute defense continues to be very tough in this one. As we said, keeping us in the game right now. Oh, we got the interesting Huggins back in the game. So Huggins back from injury. Come on, Lyles. What's happening out there? Oh my God, he's still on his feet. That was horrific. Caleb Huggins, 32 yards. Lyles frozen in time. This is a sad, sad, sad effort right now. Oh my God. All right, well, here come the Aggies. Huggins at the Shane Lane. Season 20. I mean, I should have retired after the national championship year, right? We should have just called it Dunyan Rings right then. There's been a couple of times we've been getting close, like, okay, this is going to be the last one, and then we retire. And then we retire. But we just keep going. One more. One more. One more. Huggins. The give to Armstrong. And Armstrong brought down.
That's a gain of 2 on the play. That makes it 3rd and 3.
So 3rd and 3. Can our bend but don't break defense continue to hold tight here? And Armstrong gets the first down. Whew. Well, Huggins way off the mark. Boy, he hit one of our cheerleaders right in the back of the head. What's he doing out there? What's he doing, man? Come on, man. I mean, what's he doing out there? All right, Huggins under duress and just throws it. Intentional grounding? I don't know. I guess they said the receiver was there. An interesting decision, I think, to go with Huggins, considering Hill was playing pretty well, but you got your starter back and he's healthy. Most coaches are going to go with him. Huggins. Just short of the first down. So what do you do if you're the Aggies? Do you put points on the board against number one? They are going to go for it. They are going to go for it. Look at the big bodies lined up front. They're going to throw the football, and Huggins is off the mark, incomplete. He's had a couple of bad overthrows. Huggins misses another one badly, and Utah State stays off the scoreboard. Boy, how many times have you seen games like this in real life, folks? Where you got the scrappy underdog going toe-to-toe, blow-to-blow with the big team, and they just can't get out of their own way, and they just keep making mistake and mistake and mistake, and the fans, it's just agony for the fans. But if you're an Aggies fan, which I hope you're not, you're watching our Utah football, you should be a Utes fan for us, right? Cheer for us. Boy, Texas almost caught up there. They only ended up losing by 7. That was a bigger blowout than that score is going to indicate at the bottom of the screen there. Andrew Cross blitz read perfectly, and it's a first down. Jason Newton. I like these. Now, this is, to me, and there's other Utah Utes fans, I call these the Sugar Bowl uniforms because these are the ones they beat Alabama in. I prefer these a lot more than what they're wearing now. Again, as you saw what I put the Aggies in, I kind of like a little flare as Cross goes down again, nobody open, and he gets to take a sack. I like a little flare on the uniforms. I know that there's traditionalists out there, but I feel like college football has taken a step back. A lot of teams looking like the Jacksonville Jaguars, just a simplistic uniform, no nothing. I like a little flair in my uniform, so I like these Utah unis. I like the Utah State unis as well. Second down. I was watching the Boise game last night. I thought what New Mexico was wearing was terrible. They played terrible on the field. First down. That was big on 3rd and long. How about that? Tommy Singleton. A lot of people are going to be talking about this Monday morning around the Horn PTI. A lot of those guys are going to be looking at this like, we just saw Texas get beat, and we're seeing number one in the nation struggle right now. But we'll see. I mean, you know, we're maybe being a little disrespectful to the Aggies. The Aggies could end up being a top-tier team this year. We can see them in a New Year's 6. And this one ain't over yet, folks. Oh, my goodness. Our guys are getting knocked around. What a hit that was onto Bradford. Boom. 85 yards for Bill Bradford in this game. Bill's yet to break 100. He's got almost 20 carries. So even his Heisman campaign is off to a slow start. And Bradford gets the first down. Absolutely. Four minutes to play in this one. In the third, rather. I wish we were coming to the end of this one. I want to be done with this. I'm going to be very interested. And right now I'm planning on doing a doubleheader for you guys. I'm planning on streaming a second game right after this because I really want to know what this team's made of. And we got South Alabama on the docket next, which we should do a lot stronger at. At least the defense. Again, I'm going to praise the defense. 0 points on the board. A couple of big stops. This offense, we got to figure it out. Price. We're getting closer, though. A little bit of breathing room, obviously, if we can get a touchdown here, get the ball in the end zone. We'll feel a whole lot better about ourselves if that can happen. Second down and 7. Cross. Almost intercepted. Eric Hubbard. Cross just 161 with the 2 interceptions in this one. Cross. Just dumped it off to Baldwin. And it's 4th and 3. And guess what? We got to take a field goal.
That brings up 4th and 3.
Is this what you were expecting? College football back, baby. 16-0, hopefully. Richardson does put it through. 16-0. Number 1 struggling with their in-state rivals. And there you go. Alabama knocking off the defending national championship runners-up. A 2-touchdown victory. And number 3 goes down, and college football playoff implications have just happened in our first game. We had a home and home with Alabama a couple of years ago, if you guys remember, on our old YouTube channel, where we had the beatdown at Bryant Denny, where we whooped up on Alabama, but then they came and got us the next season on our own home turf. And again, patreon.com/TBSports27 if you want to see all the scores from that season. Is that going to be a fumble? They're going to say incomplete. And Huggins is out again. So that's the second time Huggins is going to get knocked out. So Hill comes back in, but now Hill's cold, and that's why I said, I don't know, what would you guys do in that situation? The backup playing well, do you stay with them, or do you go back to your starter? And now the backup's got to come in cold after he was doing pretty well. Looks like Huggins will be back in, though. And they're going to give it to Armstrong, and Armstrong with the first down. Utah State. First down, Aggies. Look at that. The number of first downs both sides of the ball. We had some blowouts last season. This is not one of them. Hill dumps it off to Armstrong. Armstrong's had a couple of really nice rushes. I keep seeing LSU at the bottom. We should do a home and home with LSU. We're kind of open for it now because we're going to complete a lot of our home and homes, considering that was one of the teams that we almost went and got hired by. Hill. First down, Shane Lane. Boy, if only the Aggies, could have capitalized. They had the 2 possessions, the turnover on 4th down, and then the interception. They'd be driving for a game lead right now. Brandon Armstrong for 6. Let's get his full numbers. 39 yards. Seems like he's done a lot more than 39 yards. $16-0. The give to Armstrong, and Armstrong driven back. There we go. And we'll see if our defense can hold one more time. Frank Johnson, Big Frank. Number 95. Remember that name because I have a feeling we see a lot more Frank Johnson. All right. 3rd and 5 for our defense here. What do we got in us? They give it to Lyles, and it's a first down. Are you kidding me? They bring in the backup, Matt Lyles. And it's a slow process, but they're moving it down the field. Quick update for you in real life. Miami's starting to pull away from Southern Miss. It's now 24-7 after that game was very, very close. They pitch it outside to Lyles. And he's going to get driven out of bounds. Texas, Alabama still tied 10-10 right now. What is Bryce's stats in this one? Bryce Young, 10 of 18. Second down and 7. I might try to catch the end of that game after our next game here. 2nd and 7. Huggins back in, and he completes it to Thomas. And that is how the 3rd quarter will end. It's still a shutout, but our offense, our top-ranked, #1 ranked offense, we have been held out of the end zone every drive since the opening drive. It's 16-0. Utes lead the Aggies. 1 touchdown, 3 field goals for Utah State.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down.
Good Lord, the Yankees. It's so, baseball, I know it's the fall. Hey, Daniel Lewis. Welcome, Daniel. I know baseball is like the October tradition, right? They got to figure out a way to end baseball sooner because it's like nobody cares about baseball now that football season starts. They got 7 straight singles the Yankees did in 6 runs against Corey Kluber, the Tampa Bay Rays, to start off that game. So it's 6-0 Yankees right now. So what's going on, my friend Daniel Lewis? How are we doing today? Glad to have you here. This game coming to a close, but we already promised we're going to be streaming a 2nd college football game with you guys. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be coming up right after this. We're going to stop this stream and start a 2nd one. We like to do that because when these go up, oh, Higgins, touchdown, Utah State. The shutout is broken, and it's a ball game. I would imagine the Aggies would go for 2 right now to make it a 1-score game, and they are. Oh, my God. This is not what you want from #1 right now. Huggins, 2-point conversion. It is 16-8. Oh, my God. It's a 1-score game, folks. All right, let's see what Newton can do here. We got the blocks for Newton. Could be going for the 2nd touchdown of the game for Utah. And he doesn't. He gives us breathing room. Boy, that just sucked the air right out of this stadium. Wow. The air sucked right out of Utah State right now. 23-8. The Utes back up by 2 scores.
The kickoff is down for a touchback.
So we'll see how the Aggies respond here. Late in the 4th. Giving it to Armstrong. And he's going to lose 4. Utah defense. Jamie Brooks. They will give it to Armstrong once again. He kind of stutter steps. He's going to get some of that lost yardage back, but he's only going to get 1. So interesting right now as clock's starting to tick away. Utah State sticking to the ground game rather than trying to put the ball up in the air. Of course, you got Huggins, who's been beat up twice. He's been knocked out of this game. But if you're worried about him throwing the ball, you got to put Hill back in there, right? You would have to think. We need a color commentator. Oh, intercepted. That might just snatched it away. Let's go to our field reporter. Let's go down to Mike Holder down on the field. He's going to talk to the Utah State coach. What do you think about the team? Well, we came up big. We got the turnover there, and we're going to be able to get the win. sound like Ed Orgeron. Ed Orgeron. We're going to get the win. We need to do better on offense. We got to wake up right now. Play fake cross. Oh, Cross almost gives it back. What does the offensive coordinator think about this? Well, you know, that's what we're saying. Andrew Cross, you know, we recruited him, top recruit. He's coming in. He's not playing that well. He's got to do better. He's got to play stronger. He's playing like a freshman again. We got to get him playing. He's got the junior slump. I think, you know, national championship. He did the old Joe Burrow. He had the cigar in the mouth, the lungs filled with the nicotine, and he's having a hard time breathing. The high altitude, the mountains of Utah, got to get better. All right, thank you. That was the offensive coordinator there for the Utah Utes. Great guys. All right. Third down here. A chance for the proverbial dagger. Oh, my God. Andrew Cross is a mess right now. It should probably be about 4 or 5 interceptions on the scoreboard. It's not. Field goal here by Richardson. And it's going to hit the upright. Unbelievable. So he is 3 for 3 coming into this one. Now 3 for 4. And a chance to really put this game out of reach is going to fall short. And Utah State will get the ball back. A lot of time. Make up 2 scores here. Dumps it off to Stone.
Chambers makes the tackle at the 23-yard line. That brings up 2nd and 9.
Double tight. Double tight. Two down. Check 59. Mike is 59.
Huggins. Oh, Huggins has had a lot of those in this game, and I'm surprised. Huggins just 24 yards passing. That they don't stick with the backup, who I feel like has played a lot better. Huggins has had a lot of passes that he has misfired on. They haven't even been close, folks. Huggins. He is going to go short of the first down marker to Tim Porter. Porter's not happy about it. They're doing some John down there. And Utah State, wow, they're going to punt the ball. This is still a game. Maybe they're feeling like they got to play field position, but, well, you're down by 2 scores. I'm not 100% sure about this decision. We'll see what they do with it. (23-8). This is our 20th season of our dynasty mode here in NCAA 14. Play fake and wide open, and it's incomplete. Wow. 17 seasons here with the Utah Utes. 1 as the head coach of Wyoming, 1 as the defensive coordinator of Florida State. The last 17 here, now our 18th year with Utah. Bill Bradford for 4.
That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
It's been a tradition the last couple of years, kicking off the season with Utah State. This has been the biggest fight so far as Andrew Cross is sacked once again. That's going to be, well, the 2nd sack for Fogel. But Cross has been dropped at least 4 or 5 times in this one. My goodness. So, well, they punted, and we'll see if the decision comes back to help. Oh, it's a muff. Well, we almost had an LSU FSU situation right there, did we not? So we'll see. This is gonna be the last chance for the Aggies. They've been going toe to toe with us up to this point, but it's coming down to it. The clock is their enemy right now, and I continue to be shocked that Huggins is still in this game. But We have been outclassed offensively by Utah State. You just saw the numbers right there. But most of that hasn't been because of Huggins, so. Third down for the Aggies. Huggins. All kinds of time. Where's the defensive line? And it's intercepted. Huggins, I continue to be shocked at the decision to keep Caleb Huggins in the game. Because I feel like he has been the reason this upset did not happen. Nothing on the ground for Gil Bradford. $90 yards on 20 carries. Two and a half to play. We're coming right back after this. We'll be playing South Alabama, so we'll stop the stream briefly, and we'll come right back with the South Alabama game, a doubleheader of college football for you guys here today. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stream, because it's going to be busy. It's NFL Week 1. I'm going to want to watch Red Zone to kick off the NFL season to see what's going on there. Then my Cardinals play at 4, and then the Buccaneers, which is my hometown team, my mom's favorite team, she's going to want to watch that as Cross is just, it's a mess right now offensively for the Utes. That game is at 8. And then Monday, we definitely won't be streaming because I'll get off work at 7. And then I got the Broncos game that night, including Monday Night Raw. So we're going to be doing a double header. So, but who knows? If I get up early enough, maybe we can stream, maybe an early morning stream, where we can jump on and stream with you guys before the NFL games kick off. That could be a possibility. So another last, how many last chances has Utah State had? Huggins just gets drilled into the turf. He loses a yard.
Call it a loss of 1 yard on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 11.
This Utah State defense for many years has been the calling card. That's why our defensive coordinator got picked up by BYU. We had a couple of seasons, 4 shutouts in one season. If you guys remember that, we had a couple of shutouts last season, and they've kept us in this game again as Caleb Huggins continues to struggle with the football. A minute 36 to go. We'll see if the Aggies have any final. Oh, they run the ball. What a decision. Listen to the boos. Are they going to just give up on this game with a punt? They are going to go for it, but I don't know if they're trying to catch us off guard and trying to sneak a run in there, knowing that Huggins isn't throwing the ball well, but it's not like you got to stick with Huggins. You put Hill back in there. Huggins. Oh, boy, what a disaster from Huggins. Good for us. I mean, good for us as a fan of college football. If you're an Aggies fan, that was just a disaster of an effort by Huggins. And it's looking like we're going to survive the fight. A defensive slugfest in this opening contest. It didn't look like it. Opening drive, the way that we cruised right down the field, it looked like it was going to be blowout city once again for our Utes. But the Utah State defense, credit where credit is due in the final game of this series, and we can always renew it. We took a little break before, and then we renewed it for 4 years. We can always renew this series again. Utah State, kind of a tradition at this point. Maybe we can do some neutral sites. Maybe we can go to Denver, play Utah State at Denver or something. We don't have any neutral site games this year. We played neutral site games in the past. If you guys are familiar with our channel, we had the Battle of the U, Utah versus Miami, down at the Cotton Bowl, which the reason we did it there is because the Cotton Bowl was the famous birth of the U, with the game that put the Miami program on the map. So we had the Battle of the U down there. Then we had a couple of neutral site games in Nebraska back when we were in the Pac-16, and then a couple of neutral site games with UCF. It was the anniversary of our national championship victory, and we did a couple of neutral site games with UCF, one in Denver and one down in Miami at the stadium where the national championship took place. So there you go. Time will tick down, and it was a rough, sloppy game in this one. But we're not done, folks, because we're going to take a little pause for the cause. We're going to simulate, because it takes a long time to simulate in this game. And we're going to come right back on the stream, and it is going to be Utah and South Alabama in our second game here of our doubleheader here for TV Sports 27. So stay tuned, because we're coming back with much more college football. As the college football season, yeah, that was the play of the game. That kick return by Newton is what saved this game for us. Because I dare say we were about dead in the water. Or we were getting close. We still have the lead, but we were getting close. And Huggins, not a good game for him. I'm still shocked and appalled as a college football fan. Newton is going to end up being your player of the game, which tells you how much we struggled when your kick returner is the MVP. So there you go. That's going to wrap it up here. You'll see some of the final highlights. Boy, I wish we can go back to that opening drive. Huggins, I mean, he did have the rushing touchdown, so you got to give him the credit there. But it was the kick return touchdown by Newton, which did in the Aggies from Utah State. Here's some of your potential thumbnails. We'll try to get a picture of one of these. That'll be the thumbnail. Look at that smiling. Ain't smiling now. Throw some stats at you before we go, mainly from our guys. Laundry's done just 13 of 22 for Andrew Cross, 2 INTs. A rough game for the 99 overall. Bill Bradford, he got 105, but, I mean, for a Heisman candidate, it took a lot of attempts for him to get there. And not much receiving-wise. So, all right, we're going to take a pause. KJ, we're going to take a pause, and we will be right back. As soon as we get to the next game, we'll be back. South Alabama and Utah, Week 2, coming your way shortly on TV Sports 27. We'll see you then. And we'll be gone as soon as OBS just stops. Do you want to stop the stream? I do.